ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, That Creepy Reading, and today I come to you with CRAPPYPASTAs. Yes, CRAPPYPASTAs, the show where we find 3 of the worst stories on the Some Ordinary Gamers wiki, and we try to tear them apart for your listening pleasure. But first, I got some more boring news. Currently, I am working on Top 30 Disturbing Photographs. It's a project I'll be joined by the Creepy Messenger, Blame It On George, myself, and NDL Mongoose from Tats Top Videos. Currently, we are 5 photos short of our 30 photo goal. Once we get all the photos together, we can actually start writing the script, and hopefully it will be done about a week after the script is done. So, what does that mean for you guys? We got 5 slots, and if you guys want to submit a photo, go to my Facebook, Tumblr, or even comment on this video and link to the photograph in which you're speaking about, and you have the chance of getting whatever you want promoted, whether that just be a credit at the end or a link to your Tumblr, the description, or DeviantArt, or whatever. So yes, 5 slots, 5 people, 5 lucky winners. If we use your photo, you will be credited. With that being said, why don't we go into the stories I'm going to be doing this week? First off, it's the Block That Murdered Me. Oh my god, fuck. Followed by Why Can't Mario Go Back? Then, Doom 3 Arena, which is a story that sounds like it was directly ripped off of Tumblr. And then if we have time, I'll be adding in an extra story called Achievement Unlocked Steam. Now, with that being said, why don't we go right into the Block That Murdered Me? Oh my god, I think I'm losing brain cells already. Let's begin. I was a very big fan of Roblox, a massively multiplayer online game, a MMOG if you will. I was pretty bad at sword fighting, so I was trying to find a good hack. Like a noob. I was browsing the internet for a hack, and then I saw one simply labeled the Block Death. Really? I clicked it, out of curiosity, and then I saw that it was a brick they could place in the ground, and if you stepped on it, it would have given you God mode. It also had a weird saying at the end. Wait, no, that's...
Alright, so basically, That Creepy Reading can't read this, so I'm gonna do it for you. Him. Whatever. Roy Roth Emok Lewe T.
I realized it was I Will Come For You written backwards. I ignored it and I installed the hack. When I installed it, I tried it out a few times on Sword Fight On The Heights original by Shadexky. And guess what? It worked. I placed a brick and stepped on it, and then my health bar disappeared. I was so happy about it until one day. I was playing on the SFOTH again, and I was using the hack. I placed a brick, but this time, when I stepped on the brick, I died and didn't respawn. Instead, my game crashed and a message box appeared on my screen, and it said, "You ignored the message. I had warned you." The text looked like it was written in blood. Fuck off. I closed the text box. I joined another server on SFOTH. This time, when I placed a hack brick and stepped on it, my computer screen went all black. And then my computer screen appeared to be cracking from the sides. I freaked out and I ran away from the cracking computer. What the fuck? Okay, let me quickly put this into perspective for you people who are listening to this and you are understanding why I'm saying what the fuck. Okay, imagine you got a PC, right? You are listening to this on a PC. You might be listening to this on a TV, but most of you are probably on your computer or laptop listening to this. Imagine if your computer turned off and you notice a crack on the side of it, or there was a crack. Would your first reaction be, I freaked out and I ran away from the cracking computer, literally out of fear? What the fuck? Oh my fucking god. He actually got so scared that he ran away from his computer because it was cracking. On with the story. I went to my best friend's house to tell him. We both came back to my house and to check on what happened to the computer. One, that is terribly written. Two, you just ran away in fear from your computer, and now we are less than a sentence later back at your computer. That is awful story design. If you go away from something, you don't come back to it the very next sentence. You stay in a different location for a moment so we can establish a different location. But no, you are confusing me. You are a confusing writer. All right. When we came back, we were stunned. The computer was all messed up, and next to it, there was a piece of paper that said, "The brick is unleashed and death is near." Both me and my friend were feeling kind of stupid because we were freaked out by a brick, and it was pretty scary to have your computer all messed up when you know it was in better condition when you left. Okay, what the fuck? What the fuck? You are saying that it is stupid to be scared after you found a note that said death is near, basically saying you are gonna die. I'm assuming the writer is 12. But one, your computer was destroyed, and when you came back, someone clearly wrote a note saying you're gonna die. That means either one, a entity is in your house that wants to hurt you, or two, someone broke into your house who knew you installed this hack and wrote that down, which means this person can get into your fucking house, and yet you are feeling stupid because the brick is the thing that's scaring you. No, it should be the fucking note. It is the note. There is a note that says someone wants to kill you that you did not. Oh my fucking god. But no. It's the brick that made you feel stupid. And also, it was really scary to find your computer messed up, despite it being messed up when you left. Okay, moving on. I went to my friend's house to play some Roblox. We played for about an hour or two. It was getting late, and I went back home. I went to bed. What the fuck? We played for an hour or so, period. It was getting late, so I went back home, period. I went to bed, period. What the hell? Okay, one, I don't know if I went to bed is a full sentence, because, and if it is, it's a poorly written sentence, because you could have just made that, you know, a part of that. You could have said, I went back home and went to bed, but no, you made it. Why would you do that? Again, these periods are hard to read. What the hell? Not to mention, someone broke into your fucking house and wrote a letter, so why would you want to go home or not feel any sort of violation? The next day, I went downstairs to the kitchen to get me something to eat for breakfast. I made a sandwich with some orange jam, which I'm unsure if it even exists. I went to the kitchen table to eat my sandwich when my friend called me. I answered and asked him what happened. Wait, whoa. Why would you ask him what happened? I mean, what if, like, is that the first thing you answered the phone with? I mean, like, I could just imagine. Hey, Mom, what happened? Nothing. I just went to the grocery store. Mom, what the fuck happened? That doesn't make sense. Who answers the phone with what happened? So we continue on. I asked him what happened. He told me to come quickly. I dropped my sandwich. I ran over to my friend's house. I didn't even have to get on the pathway. I didn't even have to get on the pathway to his house to almost trip. I froze in place when I saw my friend's cat torn into pieces on the gravel of the pathway. The cat's legs were broken into pieces, her eyeballs were dilated and hanging out, her intestines were spread across the gravel. I asked my friend what then fuck was going on, and he told me he was going to the supermarket to get some milk for his cat. When he found the cat laying dead on the pathway, he told me that he found a cube next to cat, and he brought it inside to examine it. He called me so we both see what the hell was wrong with the cube and how it could do such thing. How it could do such thing. Wow! We called someone to pick up the cat's corpse, and we get them to the hospital. They opened up the cat. Well, the rest of the inside cat, because its stomach was already torn to pieces, to see they could find anything helpful, but they didn't find anything but the fact that there is a mutilated fucking cat. You know, like, you couldn't figure out, you know, how the cat was killed. You know, you couldn't figure out what killed it. You couldn't figure out what kind of cuts or lacerations were made. No. They couldn't find anything. They couldn't even figure out if it was an animal who did it or a human being, because clearly we don't have something called forensics. I studied the cube a little bit more, and I realized the cube looked exactly the same as the brick from the hack I got from the internet. I told my friend, and he said can't be, but I knew for sure it was a brick that looked the same as a cube found next to the cat. I went home to spend my day browsing the internet. It's like the further I go into this, the more the story cannot seem to be able to write. To see the internet, to see if this hack was also did this to others, but I found nothing. I went to bed, but I didn't sleep. At about 5:30, I finally fell asleep. A few minutes later, I felt a pain in my stomach, like someone was trying to rip it open. I opened my eyes and I looked down to my stomach to see what was going on. I turned my lamp table and I saw that there was a cube on my stomach and I was bleeding. I tried to scream, but I couldn't because I was stunned by the sighting. It's a fucking cube. Why would you be stunned? Okay, one, cubes aren't creepy at all. Like, sure, you were freaked out by the cube earlier, but that's understandable because you saw the aftermath of something else that was actually horrific, even though it was incredibly stupid. But nonetheless, the fact there was no police investigation on how this fucking cat was mutilated on someone's porch, but again, nothing. It doesn't matter because the guy only saw a cube and he was in pain. If it was me, I would have knocked the cube out and I would have been like, ow, that fucking hurts. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, that's a fucking cube. Like, what does he do when he sees a box? Or what does he do when he gets, goes to play some, I don't know, like, what's a game that uses dice? He just rolls the dice. He's like, oh my fucking, just so scared he can't talk. My fucking god, the realism in this is stupid. I tried to scream, but I couldn't because I was so stunned by the sighting. I tried to get up, but then I realized with horror that my legs were also gone. I was bleeding really bad. Why does it sound like it was written by Steve from Blue's Clues? I tried to crawl away, but the cube somehow got next to me. I gave up. I knew I was gonna die. I closed my eyes and waited for the last thing I was ever gonna feel. The pain. What the fuck? Okay, guys, I should make a confession here. When I look for creepypastas, I usually read the title and a few sentences into the story. I don't read the entire story when I select these. I just kind of, read the first sentence and I let my reactions be genuine. But what the hell happened here? What the hell happened here? Okay, one, as the story goes on, you notice that it tends to get shittier and shittier as the writing becomes broken, to the point where he's like putting periods after almost every other word. How did he write this if he died by getting his legs killed by block? Secondly, how did no one get called into this? One, someone broke into his house and wrote a letter on his desk. Not gonna call the police. Not gonna do anything. Not gonna tell my mums. Just... What? No! This story is unrealistic. It is poorly written. The concept is stupid. And oh my fucking god, I'm getting so sick of these install hacks that somehow come to life. No. If you're gonna write a horror story, you need some level of believability. Keyword, believability. If you went to your friend's house, hung out there, be like, hey, I was kind of fucking scared because my computer broke after I installed a hack. Oh, okay, that's kind of weird. Hey, you wanna, just get some dialogue in there. But no, his cat dies and he's like, oh, my cat's dead? I just called you up. Not to mention, who the hell answers the phone with, hey guys, what happened? No one does that. Even after that, especially since you're treating the situation so nonchalantly. Not to mention you put a lot more emphasis into the things that were never creepy than the things that actually were creepy. Not to mention the useless sense of gore. Oh my fucking god. Every time I read The Block That Murdered Me, I lose a brain cell. So why don't we move on to why Mario can't go back. Note, this is based on a chat between me and Super Pineapple Hero right here on the SOG Wiki chat. A question. Recently I was thinking about Super Mario Bros. 1. How come you can't walk left in the game? Later on in the Mario games, you can. I think I may know why. That's a little poor. The writing is a little bit disjointed and a little hard to read, but I get what the character's saying. The real answer to this is because of technical limitations. The later Mario Brothers were able to get away with doing more things, and they were able to manipulate the NES hardware. I believe the Super Mario was a launch title, which means that they weren't really understanding of the NES hardware and only could do so much. That's the real answer. Now let's see their answer. The answer. Mario committed some horrible things in the past. After he did it, he was scared and couldn't face his past. He was so scared of facing his past, he wouldn't even go back to where he just was. Who do you know acts like this? Like, do you think that there are people that are so scared or afraid of what he did in the past that they physically can't move backwards? Like, imagine that. You're walking around your house. You go down the steps to go make some food. But then you turn around and go like, oh, fuck. Ah, I'm so scared. I can't leave my stove because if I do, I'll walk backwards. Really? Come on, dude. That logic's stupid. When you beat the game and save Peach, and again, in Super Mario Bros. 2, the Lost Levels, Mario gained courage and was able to turn back, or gained, hardware limitations were alleviated. But in Super Mario Bros. 2, Doki Doki Panic, Subcon isn't just a dream, it was a nightmare. That was what Mario had done. He killed hundreds of enemies and leader Wart, who was actually an innocent king. Okay. At the end of the game, when Mario wakes from his nightmare, it was a flashback to what he did. After that, SMB1 took place. To this day, Mario doesn't really talk that much. It's because his past still haunts him, just not as much. He keeps on accepting quests to save the princess, quests he made. The only time Bowser really kidnapped Peach was in SMB1 and the Lost Levels. After that, Mario just kept hiring him to kidnap the Peach, so that he could be distracted by trying to save her. He just keeps trying to get away, setting where Bowser takes her further and further away, even to the vast void of space. Also in Super Mario Land, he went as far as to rescue someone he didn't know in a country miles and miles away. But you can't really run from your past. In SMG2, the trees of Shriven are hallucinations, personifications of Mario's subconscious that reminds him of the events that happened to Subcon. Or possibly they are Bowser's attempts to bring back his fallen soldiers, but it failed. Now all they want is revenge. In Super Mario Sunshine, he went on vacation. He hired Bowser and his son to kidnap Peach. He planned to be arrested and have to clean up mess. It was just distractions. In Super Mario Bros. 3, it wasn't even kidnapping. It was just a play. That's why when you beat the level, it's black. He's leaving the stage. Blocks cast shadows on the backdrops. Platforms are held up with ropes, and other blocks are screwed together. It was just a play. Hell, in Paper Mario series is papery because is Mario trying to act out things with toys. And even in the later series are lies, such as Super Mario Kart, Mario Party, and Super Smash Bros. They're just distractions for Mario in his own versions of therapy. And the therapy isn't working. This is a rather short one. I'm pretty sure you kind of know that, but why don't we quickly dissect this? Hardware limitations. We all know this, and this person clearly has been watching way too much game theory. Yes, you could make an argument for Super Mario Bros. Being in a play, but how could the play thing work in this concept? This concept where he's hiring people to kidnap Peach, which again is another concept explained in game theory, which is again a stupid concept that Nintendo wouldn't allow. It's just that I don't think Mario was planned to be a series from the beginning. I think it was just a proof of concept for the NES. And that's why the stories don't make sense, because they aren't connected stories, they're just random adventures. In this, but okay. Let's forget about that. Let's forget that there's actual logical reasons for this being things. Why don't we just pretend for a moment that this guy is making any sense whatsoever? Mario is so fucked up that he cannot go backwards. That's stupid because no one does that, because people do that all the time, even people who are traumatized, people who are experiencing shell shock. Now, the closest thing to this would be a woman who physically cannot turn left because of a car accident she had. This doesn't mean she can't figure out a way to go left, like by taking 3 right turns or 4 right turns or whatever. It means that she, as a person, just can't make left turns. It doesn't mean she can't go backwards. Doesn't mean that she can't go to places she hasn't been before or already has been. It means that she just can't turn left. That is the closest thing that this person got. But no, that's stupid. That is just stupid. But okay, so he says Doki Doki Panic was a supposed nightmare. How is that a nightmare? Doki Doki Panic was originally a different game that was for different licensed characters. But they just kind of put Mario on it and gave it to the American audience, and American audiences loved it. He doesn't really kill people in that. I mean, again, they just kind of throw fruit at them and they go away. And if you want to say that's killing, I guess, but I don't think he's... Like, if you even look at the end screen, he is happily sleeping. So how would that be a nightmare? There is no sense of, fear in that. There's no sense of regret. It is all a happy dream at the end of the thing. So you can't really make that argument there. I know I'm arguing a creepypasta, but for a creepypasta to be believable, you have to kind of understand what makes something really horror. So yeah, that's not really creepy. I guess you could, yeah, then he just kind of makes other claims that is just basically parroting from game theory, and that's the story. It's a bad story. I wouldn't recommend reading this, but why don't we quickly move on? And let's move on to Doom 3 Arena. Editor's note. This pasta is on the Creepypasta Wiki as well as the SOG. This is my OC, so please don't accuse me of stealing. Heart, Surge Sparta. Or Sarge Sparta. That's better. Because nothing kills a story more than letting us know that your character is a original character, and not to say that he's stealing it, because of course this is a creepypasta, we're supposed to be taking this as horror, whatever, because this doesn't completely kill the mood before the story starts. Thanks for poisoning the well. With that being said, this is the pasta. It was January of 2000. I was a huge fan of the Quake series. I had tons of mods for Quake and Quake 2. However, Quake 3 Arena just recently launched, and there weren't tons of mods. There were plenty, however. My favorite character was Ranger due to me being Quake World veteran. I probably dislike Quake 3 Arena most out of all of them. However, due to lack of story and odd experiences I had with the game. Which already doesn't make sense because... Okay, why don't I reread you this line real quick? I probably dislike Quake 3 Arena most out of all of them because of the lack of a story and odd experiences I had with the game. And that would make sense, but no, it's however, which makes me think that he's talking about something completely different. But nonetheless, we'll continue. I was trying to find a server on the master server list. It was kind of a cool feature at the time because before then we had to type in the IP into an address book. I saw a particular server called Doom 3 Arena. I was curious because it seemed like a Doom mod for Q3A. It was almost full with players, 15 out of 16 slots to be exactly, and it had a rather low ping, 10 ms. I had a T1 line just to play Quake 2 online as well. I joined the server. What I saw was pretty damn cool. I had a classic Doom HUD and weapons. We were in the legendary hangar level, and all the players had classic Doom guys sprites as their character models. Quake 3 Arena, however, didn't support downloading mods from a server, which I found odd. However, I was compelled to play the game on this server almost every time. I played QA3. It always had 15 other players, which I always found strange, but I didn't really mind. It meant that the server was always active. I started replaying the Doom games, and then I stopped after realizing how dated they felt, and they were almost unplayable after Quake. That's why when I play Doom to this day, I just feel that it's completely unplayable, even today, because it's so outdated. Because Doom, no one plays that anymore. Is that right, Brutal Doom? One day, I felt like playing on a different server. I tried joining. Strangely enough, it took me to Doom 3 Arena. In the chat, all the players are asking why I'd left. They tried circling around me. I called them all nut jobs and left the server. I thought they hacked my game, so I uninstalled it and reinstalled it. I was in the mood for single player after that. I booted up the game and loaded it up single player. Instead of Crash giving me a tutorial, there was Doom, the built-in character model, not the sprite, on the hangar level. Just for the hell of it, I started it up. Doom appearing to be holding John Carmack by the neck. Are we talking about the same game? I don't even know if you could do a likeness of John Carmack back then. I mean, like, it would have been, like, back then, faces were like squares. Squares. And back then, this was before the information age, so a lot of people probably didn't know what John Carmack looked like or could identify who John Carmack was just by a square depiction of his face. Doom shot him twice with a shotgun and blew him to giblets. Not hyper-realistic or anything, just default giblets. In chat, Doom Guy says, "Why did you forget me?" I leave the game and try to go to desktop, then hard drive crash. Years from now, I now have finally gotten rage. I swear I think I still see Doom. I still get a weird Steam message from this guy, Doom, with a Doom avatar that says, "Do you miss me? Am I forgotten?" Also, my wallpaper recently changed to a sprite of the Doom guy's head without me knowing, maybe just hacker. And just so you guys understand, this isn't maybe just a hacker. It's may, then be just hacker. Maybe just hacker. Not like maybe, just maybe. Maybe. Like two different words. Like, okay, why is the story bad? Why? There is absolutely nothing to the story. It has some really bad writing, and they actually have the same syndrome that the other story that we read, The Block That Murdered Me. And it's the issues that they have where the block basically, where they have text that's literally, "I tried joining." I don't even think that's a sentence, but that's an entire sentence. It is 3 words, and it just, like, you could have literally rewritten that line to be, "One day I felt like playing on a different server, so I tried joining one." Sentence. There's a sentence right there. But instead, "One day I felt like trying to play a different server. I tried joining." Period means that I pause. And when you pause there, you sound stupid. So, yes. Now this guy tries, like, okay, so at the beginning, it's not quite so bad. You could just, like, read it and go, like, okay, he plays Doom or whatever, plays Quake. Well, he doesn't even say play Doom, even though the whole premise of the story, of the story is, "Don't you miss Doom?" and "Why are you saying it's outdated?" Basically a, neckbeard fan go, like, "Remember Doom and how awesome that was? How dare you forget about it?" That's basically the story in a nutshell, but nonetheless, it starts out okay. He's just talking about Quake, how he played it, how he downloads a mod. And then at the last, like, three, I guess, half paragraphs, or, sorry, quarter paragraphs, the guy just tries to throw as many cliches in there as possible. Literally beginning with, oh my god, I saw John Carmack being held by the neck, and then I killed him, and there was gore, and then he's like, oh, did you forget me? That line, do you forget me, when you're talking about older games, appears all the time in gaming creepypastas, which is why I usually don't cover them. But then it goes on to say, well, now there's a guy on Steam still trying to harass me. Like, what the where did that come from? Where did this come from? No, it didn't come from anywhere. You know why? Because you're like, wait a minute, I forgot to put creepy shit in my creepypasta. I was too worried about people stealing my OC. So, which I don't even know if there is an OC in here. I'm sorry, I don't see any characters outside of the guy and John Carmack. Is John Carmack your OC? I hope to God you don't think John Carmack is your own OC, because he is a real person, sir. But yes, he forgets to add anything creepy, and then at the end he's like, wait a minute, Steam is creepy? I'll talk about Steam! And he talks about Steam, and then it's nothing, because it's not creepy. It's, why don't you block the fucker? And if you can't block the fucker, then why are you still in your house? Contact customer support. I know it's shit, but if there's a guy harassing you about something that happened, and you can clearly write a story about it, then then at the end, it's just maybe just hacker. Greatest writing. That deserves a Pulitzer, a Nobel Prize, and a Nita Sarkeesian Award of Dumbass. My nipples are hard at this one, but I think you guys deserve another story. So, when I go on to something that may be good, may be bad, I didn't read through it. All I know is that the story's name is Achievement Unlocked Steam, because Steam is retarded and not scary. Let's begin. I bought a new game on Steam, and when I started it up, I started toying around with the options, when suddenly Steam notified me of an achievement. It was achievement for beating the game. I was confused, and shift-tabbed pulling up the Steam interface, as it claimed I had achievement for beating the game. I returned to the game and I flipped through the load screen to see if there was something was wrong. There was no previous save file. I then thought that Steam somehow glitched. I started up the game and played through the tutorial level with ease, when there was another achievement notification that came up. This one was for doing something crazy on multiplayer. Details, please? What's that something crazy? Like, is that what the achievement is? Like, do something crazy on multiplayer? What constitutes as crazy, damn it? I want realism on my creepypastas. I am not the kind to play online, except for on games that were designed to be online, like Team Fortress 2, for example. So this confused me even more. I played a little bit more of the campaign, and the achievements kept rolling, all of them out of place. It happened so much that playing the game seemed to be pointless. I changed to a different game, but that didn't change what was happening. More and more notifications kept popping up. Achievement after achievement after achievement. I then closed Steam and opened it up again. After I started playing, more achievements. I restarted my computer and tried again, more achievements. I got aggravated and went through my Steam files trying to find some malicious file. A Steam error then popped up. Are you not happy? The text read. I clicked OK, then Steam crash. I went on internet to look up Steam website achievement bug. I got some listings, but nothing as bad as mine. I tried reporting it to Steam support, but I never received response. And the creepypasta. That's it. Yep, real life creepypasta right there. Steam doesn't respond to customer support. Refund has not been achieved. Okay, I'm sorry. This is fucking stupid. I tried reporting to Steam support, but I never received a message. Another error message popped up on the screen. You won't find a solution, it said. My account had to have been hacked, because hacks can do that. I stopped playing for a month because I thought maybe hacker would get bored. When I returned, I had forgot why I quit until error occurred saying, play something. Yes, that's an error. Steve's like, you better play our fucking shit. It's Steve's summer sale bullshit. Gaben loves you. I then remembered why I quit. I opened up my Gary's mod and opened up console after it alerted me that I was playing game on same server as Gary. And I wrote on console, why you do this? I know I changed that. It's why did you do this? But I think why you do this is more appropriate. I only had a hunch, but then it actually worked. Because I liked you. You realized that it is getting annoying. I typed back, stop it! It responded. And then Gary's mod crashed before screen cut. Long lines of code strung across my console. I returned to desktop and Steam window displayed a long error. Then something popped up. A Steam update. I was instantly suspicious because, I mean, after that, who would be suspicious? But I confirmed it and I read the details. At the bottom line, it read, malicious software removal. It caught my attention. After the update, all my achievements were back to the way they were before the incident. And I wasn't getting any more errors, unnecessary misplaced achievements. However, if I opened a console in a game, I was happily greeted with a line of text. Achievement unlocked. I love you. Ah! All the cancer. All of it. Just all of it. I don't even know where to begin to deconstruct this. Achievement unlocked Steam. So the thing starts out and the guy's like, well, I was playing random generic game because although I'm allowing to talk about Team Fortress 2, we better not speak anything about, you know, that game that I was playing where I got crazy multiplayer achievement. Because that game you better not talk about. I have no investment in this story. And you know why? It's because they don't put any effort into giving us any details, even to the point where we don't know who the guy is, how old he is, where is he playing at, is he on a PC, is he? Well, yeah, of course he is, because he's on Steam, but he doesn't talk about the game. We have no investment. He just talked about achievements as if they're scary. Yes, because last time I got an achievement on Steam, I was like, holy shit! Man, that gave me a heart attack. Better go back to playing Sonic Racing. Anywho, the guy goes on to say that he played a bit more of campaign of Mysterious Game X, which I only could imagine being not GTA 5. Because it has to be not GTA 5. That's the game. Because he got crazy multiplayer achievement. All of them were out of place. He basically says, it just... he's acting as if achievements are scary. And even the line, achievement unlock Steam, doesn't make any sense in any context. Because it's stupid. So, the box goes to read. He has it talks to someone on, you know, I don't know, Gary's mod, and apparently he's playing the game with Gary himself, and apparently Gary loves them, and they had butt sex, and because gay marriage is legal, he got married. Happy ending. Achievement unlocked, bro. But I don't know. This story is bad. It's poor. Well, it's better written than the other shit I was reading. You know, it's not as bad as maybe Hacker. You know, but you know, you still got some pretty bad writing, and you don't understand. To the people who write these stories, I hold no hatred for you, because you put effort into writing these, and it's very nice that you put them up on the internet for us all to see. When I make fun of a story, I make fun of the story, not the writer itself. Except for when I say this clearly sounds like it was written by a 13-year-old, because it does. But nonetheless, if you write these stories and you end up on CRAPPYPASTAs, please don't take this as me hating on you. Take this as me trying to help you write a better story for the community to enjoy as a whole. Because as I go into the community, I always hear my fellow narrator saying that the community is dying, that there's people quitting, there's no more good stories, and the reason why they say there's no more good stories is because all the good stories are buried by bad ones, such as these. So I decided to take the worst of the worst, and I like to point out how they can be better, and I hope some people take my advice. If you don't take my advice, it doesn't mean you're Satan, it just means that you're not appealing to my taste. But generally, put effort into your stories. You try to make them longer than a page, and if you can, put some details that make us attached to characters and fear for them when they die. Why do you think people like Jeff the Killer? Because even though it's a shit story, guess what? We know who Jeff is. He's a kid who was normally a good kid, but he got some anger issues and then killed some people. Yeah, that's something you don't hear. And this, what do I know about this guy? He likes Steam, and some guy named Gary loves him. That's a lot of information. That's a lot. But no, if people, the creepypasta community isn't dying. If anything, these creepypastas are showing that the community is as strong as ever, because no longer are we only getting extremely talented writers writing for us. Now we are getting anyone with a keyboard involved with our community, and they're trying to support the community in any way they can. And to those creepypasta writers, I salute you for bringing us this comedy gold. So with that being said, I'm your host, That Creepy Reading, and remember, I still got 5 more slots for the disturbing photos. If you suggest a photo that we use, we'll promote whatever you want. I'll be sure to get in contact with you if we use your photo. So that being said, I'm signing off.